fertilization in human beings or fertilization in humans. So we have learned that male reproductive system and female reproductive system. Now the male reproductive cell, that is sperm, and female reproductive cell, that is ovum. So if they are at the both different places, it will not result in the fertilization. Do you remember what is fertilization? Fertilization is the fusion of male and female gametes, or it is a fusion of male reproductive cell and female reproductive cell. I have told you that at the time of sexual intercourse, penis transfers the sperm to vagina. So from the vagina, the sperm goes. Sperm means, don't think that only single sperm. There will be large number of sperms are there, that it passes through the uterus and in the oviduct. There will be chance of meeting sperm and ovum, or ovum and sperm fuses at oviduct. Remember? The fertilization in human beings, that means fusion of male gamete and female gamete, takes place in the anterior part of the oviduct. Remember the organ, in which organ it takes place? It takes place in the oviduct. So fusion of male gamete, that means sperm and ovum, has taken place here. That means fusion of sperm and ovum is known as fertilization. So in human, which type of fertilization takes place? It takes place internal fertilization. You might have understood here why internal fertilization occurs here. Why internal fertilization occurs here? Internal fertilization occurs here because the fusion of male gamete and female gamete, or sperm and ovum, has been taken place inside the body of the female. So these all the parts are present inside the body of the female. So as it takes place inside the body of the female, we can say it as internal fertilization. Now ovum and egg fused. So when the ovum and egg fused, ovum is a cell and sperm is another cell. So ovum contains a nucleus, sperm also contains a nucleus. When they fuse, what happens? The nucleus of the ovum and the sperm combines, and it forms a single nuclei. See that two cells are combined here, then but it resulted in one cell. 1 plus 1, it became another one here. Sperm, ovum combined, then both the nucleus combined and it formed a single nucleus. It became a single cell. Is it clear? That single cell is known as zygote. What is its name? Single cell that combines the cell. The single cell formed after the fertilization is known as zygote. Zygote is a single cell. It has only one nucleus. So as soon as the zygote is formed, it starts dividing. This cell, first it was only one cell, then it started to divide, and it divide and divide, then it gets a ball of cells. A number of cells it formed in the form of a ball. Is it clear? First zygote is formed. That zygote started division and many cells are formed. We can say that a ball of cells. That ball of cells from oviduct, it descends and it is attached to the uterus, attached to the walls of the uterus. Do you get me? After the fertilization, zygote is formed. This zygote continuously divides and we get a ball of cells, and this ball of cells, it descends and reaches the uterus and it is attached to the walls of the uterus. This process is known as implantation. What is it called? Implantation. Do you remember what is embryo? The zygote single cells, that zygote is divided into many cells. When we got a ball of cells, that is known as embryo. That embryo will be attached to the walls of the uterus. This process is known as implantation. What is it known as? It is known as implantation. So after that, after implantation, it is continuously, it again divides more and more. It divides again more and more, and as the time goes, what happens? Embryo grows and develops, And at a later stage we can see that we can distinguish the different body organs in the embryo. We can distinguish, there will be distinguishable parts will be there, like eye, legs, ears, like that. There will be so many distinguishable parts will be there. When we can distinguish the different parts, that time we will call them as fetus. So first there was zygote changed into embryo changed into fetus. Okay, you may ask that from where this embryo gets the nutrients and oxygen. So where is the embryo? Where was the embryo attached? The embryo was attached to the walls of the uterus. So when this embryo is attached to the walls of the uterus, there will be a placenta. Placenta supplies oxygen and nutrients from the mother to embryo. What is the name of that organ? It is the placenta. Placenta transfers or placenta supplies oxygen and nutrients needed for this embryo. And one more thing we have to say, that if the embryo is attached to the uterine wall, then that woman is said to be pregnant. If the embryo is attached to the uterine wall of a woman, then we say that woman is pregnant, and this period is known as pregnancy. So here we have said that fetus is formed. That means different body parts can be distinguished. Okay, that is fetus. We said this for the full development, for a fully development of this embryo in humans, it takes 280 days. How many days it needs? It needs 280 days, or nearly 9 months it requires. After that, what happens? After that, once the growth of the fetus is completed, mother gives birth to the baby, and this process is known as parturition. The act of giving birth, that process is known as parturition. Hope it is clear. Hope these things are clear. We have said about zygote, embryo and fetus. Okay, in humans or developed organisms, it happens like this. That means internal fertilization and baby will be delivered by the mother. In some other cases, what happens? Internal fertilization occurs, but development will be outside. Development will be external. For example, we know hen lays eggs, and that later that eggs hatch out into chicks, isn't it? So based on the type of development, we can divide the organisms into two categories. What are the two categories? Oviparous and viviparous. What are the two categories? Oviparous and viviparous. They are very easy. Ova is related to egg. The organism which lay eggs are known as oviparous. Organisms which lay eggs are known as oviparous. Examples: frog, lizard, hen, etc. And what will be viviparous? Animals which give birth to young ones are known as viviparous. Organism which gives birth to young ones are called viviparous. Examples, we know the examples: cow, buffalo, cat and even human beings. These are viviparous animals. So we have learned about oviparous and viviparous